Today we are going to start new topic. आज हम लोग नया टॉपिक स्टार्ट करेंगे which is name manager. ठीक है ना? Because we have done with the formulas part. So आज आपका name manager start होगा and after name manager we are going to move into this other topics. तो आज हम देखते हैं एक बार name manager को अच्छे से that how name manager works and how can we use this name manager. Okay. So today we are going to start this new topic which is known as name manager, right? So name manager is basically used to create a name or allocate a name to different range, right? Suppose we are working on range. Whenever we are working on any formula, be it VLOOKUP, be it sum, be it average, any formula, we work on the range. Under the sum function, we select a range. So without using that range or without selecting that range, we can directly use the name of that range using name manager, and it is very user friendly report that is being created after using this name manager. Let's suppose these are the names, these are the name of the companies. So what we can do, there are two ways of doing the total or doing the sum. Equals to sum A1 is to A6. This is the first pattern that we generally use. Second is equals to sum and within bracket companies. So either we can use the range or you can use the name. So basically name manager is used to create names, edit names, delete names. What type of name? A name that we give to a particular range. So we can give name to particular range and we can use that name in any of the formulas that we use. I'll just show you one example. एक example के साथ start करते हैं. Let us see. Suppose these are the let's say name and this is let's say score A B C D E. These are the 5 names. 5 name है यहाँ पर scores है. These are the scores. Let's say 6, 2, 8, 9, 5. Now what we have to do? We have to do the total. Now, as of now, what we do, we generally do like this, equals to sum, and we select the range. So scores aa jate hain. This is the range that we select like this. So it's showing sum of B2 is to B6. Sum of B2 is to B6. So this is the traditional method that we use, and it's appearing a range. Now, what we have to do, we have to name this range. इस range को हम नाम दे सकते हैं. So how to name a range? First step is to select that data which you wanted to apply or where you wanted to get the name. So I have selected B2 is to B6. This is the range that I have selected. This is showing the name box. यहाँ पर name box दिखाता है. I'll place my cursor here. अब मैं क्या करूँगा? यहाँ पर मैं जाके I can name this. Let us suppose I have named. This is scores. Let us say scores. Now, as soon as press enter, the name has been created. So we can go to this drop down scores. So it's referring to this range. Now the advantage of creating a name that we can directly use that name into our formula. Scores, sum of scores like this. So this was the first formula. B2 is to B6. This is the second formula, sum of scores. Right. So we can create a name or we can assign a name to any range. I'm repeating what I have done. I've selected this one. I've been into this and clicked on scores like this. Enter. So the name has been created, scores. Now we can use this. Anywhere we can use this. We can use in the sheet 2 also. Equals to sum of scores. It's not required to go to that sheet and select the range. We can directly use the range here also. यहाँ पर कर सकते हैं. Sum of scores like this. We can equals to average of scores. Even we select the data like this, the traditional method, sum of this one. So see what happens. So automatically it will convert it to scores. As soon as I select this range, so it will be changed back to scores. Bracket close, enter like this. This is clear how to create a name. Now, if the data keeps on increasing, let us suppose the data is increasing. We have added a data which is 8. Now it will give me wrong figure. This is scores. right? If I'm going to change the name like this, so it will not change because I have already created a name with this range. So name box, this name box is only one time method to create the name. This is only one click method to create a name. But if you wanted to change the name, delete the name, rename anything, so we have to go to formulas and name manager. And the shortcut for name manager is Control F3. This one. Now this window will give you an option to create name, edit name and delete name. So let us delete this first. एक बार देखते हैं इसको delete करके देखते हैं. Let's create a new name from this one. I'm going to name manager. I can go to new. I'll select the name which is course. Scope, this is important. Scope means where I wanted to use this name in the entire workbook or any specific sheet. So it's by default, it's showing entire workbook, and this is the best option, recommended option. You must not change this one. This is the workbook scope, right? So only I have to select the range, nothing else like this. Scope is workbook only, and once you have taken any scope, you cannot change that scope later on. Let's suppose I have taken workbook as a scope, and later on if I wanted to change the scope to sheet 1 only or sheet 2 only, then I have to delete this name and recreate the name, right? This one. Click OK. Now it will work. अब देखिए name manager, I am going to edit. So name and range can be edited, but the scope is not editable. It's disabled right now, right? और दिक्कत नहीं है, because you don't need to worry about this, because the by default scope is workbook only, and it's always recommended to keep the scope as workbook, because you can use that name into any of this file, into any of the sheet in this workbook, right? So this one. So from name manager, you can change this one. You can even select the entire range like this. Close. It will say you wanted to make the changes. Yes. Now if I'm going to add anything, so it will work because it's speaking the entire. So the purpose of creating a name is to simplify the formula and to create a professional report, user-friendly report. Clear? This is clear? Now, let us see one more example. Example of VLOOKUP. Suppose I have a data like this, name and score. I wanted to get the name of B, D, A, F, C. Now what I can do, I can select, let's suppose I have selected this one. This is my only range that I wanted into VLOOKUP, not the entire one. So what I can do, I can select this range, and let's say we can write score table like this, enter. Now what is the advantages of using that name? Let us see. Equals to VLOOKUP, lookup value is this one, comma, table array is score table, that's simple, comma 2, comma false, bus. So this is very user friendly. Anybody can understand that, okay, score table. I am taking the data from score table like this. So these are the two tables, scores and score table. These are the two names. I'll also get the list of names into this one. यहाँ पर मिल जाएगा. So this is what I have done. VLOOKUP. Clear? Any queries or doubts you can ask?
So can you repeat it again?
See what I have done, simple. There were two ways of doing this. Equals to VLOOKUP, lookup value is this one, table array is, let's suppose I am going to select this one, let us suppose this one. Yeah, one extra ले लिया, क्योंकि ऐसे करेंगे तो score table आ जाएगा. So I am taking one extra. Fix, I have to do the fix, comma 2, comma 0. So this was the conventional way that we do. What I have done, I have renamed this table. I have named this table. This table is score table, and I have used this table. Simple, I have used that table into this VLOOKUP. Table array की जगह पे score table को ले लिया. So let us save this file. Now let us see one magic of name manager. The shortcut is Control F3, name manager. Now we have few data here in the left side. We have few months, January to December, and we have 4 departments: HR, QA, finance, and training. Now, against each month, for different departments, there is some data. Let's say these are the scores out of 100. These are the scores. Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to fetch data for May for the department finance. बताइए, May का finance का data, which formula we can use to get the finance data for May or HR data for July, like this? Which formula?
VLOOKUP.
VLOOKUp.
Yes, VLOOKUp से ले सकते हैं, dash math से ले सकते हैं.
VLOOKUP से आ सकता है. Right. Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to fetch data without using VLOOKUP. तो देखिए बहुत interesting सा है. Now I am going to select this data. अब आप बताओ, in this data, what are the 2 things that I need to check? कहाँ कहाँ है? One is in the left column and one is in the top row. We have to check for the department or we have to check for the months. So these are in the left column and top row. Means the headers, the lookup headers are in the top and left. This is clear. Left and top is clear, everybody. We wanted to get the data based upon the left column and the top row. Now what I'll do, I'll just select this data. I'll go with this formula. This is create from selection, or the shortcut is Control Shift F3. This is Control F3 and this is Control Shift F3. Right? I'll go with this one. Now this is asking top row, left column. Automatically it is checked. अगर check नहीं होगा तो आप check कर सकते हैं. So ये देख रहा है कि left column and top row is the header. I'll click on OK. Done. Now let us see the magic. I wanted to get the data for May finance. So I'll write like this, equals to May finance. Done. May finance 19. Even I can go for equals to finance space May 19. We can equals to training space July. Done. 19. 19 here. Training space July, training space August, which is 32. This is so simple and so magical. Now, how it happened? This is another thing. This concept is clear. What we have done, we have selected the entire data, left column and top row. Create from selection, top row and left column is checked. I'll just click OK. After pressing OK, we can use this one. This is clear. यहाँ तक clear है सभी को? Now, how it happened? कैसे आया? Let us see. So there is one default nature of Excel that if we select the range like this, let's suppose this is my first range, space, this is my second range. So what will be the output? क्या आएगा बताइए? Result क्या आएगा? 25. Result would be the intersection of 2 range, right? 2 range ka intersection, which is 25. Now what happened? When I selected like this and selected like this, and I went into this create from selection, it's asking create names from the value in the top row left column. जैसे मैंने OK किया तो किया क्या देखिए, this created multiple names. So this is finance, ये finance है. This is HR, this is HR. Now this is November, this is November. This is January, this is January. Now whenever I'm going to select finance, so what it's done, this is taking one range. ये एक range है. Space, whenever we are going to take April, so this is another range. So finance का April का data आ जाएगा, which is 35. So this is the simple logic that is being used here. ये logic use हो रहा है. See, practically we can use this function anywhere where we use VLOOKUP. Let's suppose this is my data and this is my data and you wanted to fetch the data. So without using VLOOKUP, what we can do? We can fetch the data. Where you can use VLOOKUP to fetch the data, in place of VLOOKUP, you can get this one. Equals to May space QA. May ka QA ka data. I can fetch the data for QA May. Simple. Now let us see. Suppose I have been provided with this one of finance, and I wanted the data for QA. I wanted the data for May. finance May. Yeah, finance, let's say August. Now, how can we get this data? Finance August का data कैसे मिलेगा? Anybody? Equals to this one space this one. So what data I'll be getting? क्या मिलेगा मेरे को? Which one? 56. So I'll be getting null error. Null error आ जाएगा. Why null error? Because this finance
This is selecting the cell.
space August, these are two different range, right? These are not the text. These are the two different range. So intersection of two different range. Now, whenever I'm going to use like this space, this means these are the intersection of two different text, not range. These are the text that I'm going to select. Now, how to convert this text to actual range? Means I wanted to convert this G17 into finance. So बता सकते हैं, how can we do this? I wanted to convert this text to range, because to use this concept we have to use the range. As of now we are using the text. Now there is a function which is known as indirect function. Indirect function क्या करता? Returns the reference specified by a text. Means it will return the range or reference specified by a text. So indirect, this is G17 I have converted. Now indirect, this one H16. G17 H16, enter. Now it will work. Now if you wanted to get the multiple values, let us see. I'll fix this G and H16, I'll fix this 16. Now let us take this finance, QA, HR like this. Even I wanted to get the data for August and January. So this was the formula. Again, now it's not working. Why it's not working? There might be some problem in this formula. This is it's G17. And H16. Anybody? So beta, यहाँ पर क्या है? Okay, it's not working because we have not fixed this one. Yeah, January, it will look like this. This was the actual data. Yeah. August, so it will return multiple values as we do in VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP में जैसे करते, it's giving us the same result. We can add more. Let's say, let us add training also. I'm using this formula. Let us go with this May. This is it. Clear now? Okay. Let us understand this. What is the more use of this indirect function? Indirect function is very useful. Let us see. So I'll take one more example. Take example later. Suppose I have been provided with the data like this. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to get the 4 data from that. बताइए कैसे होगा? I wanted to get the HR data, QA data, finance data, and training data from these 4 tables. These are the 4 different tables. So what I'll do, very easy option. For HR, which table I need to use for VLOOKUP? Equals to VLOOKUP. This is the month. So for HR, which table I need to select? This table, right? Comma 2, comma false. Now for QA, I have to select this table. So these are 4 tables, but I have to do one by one. So what I can do, I can name this as, so this is the HR. This is HR. I'll get the exact name. This is QA. This is finance. And this is training. So this is one-time activity. Now, अब बताओ. This one, I can use HR like this. Can I use this HR as a HR like this? This one, is it applicable to use HR like this? Yes, it will work. It will work because I have named that table as a HR. Now what I'll do, I'll not write HR here. I'll select the column, this column where HR is already written. I'll fix this value. Now what I have to do, I have to convert this text to actual range. So indirect. Now Control C, Control V, done. So I have taken the actual column and converted that column to a range and already named that एक range already दिया हुआ है. Now we have already created 4 range. So the concept is clear. What I have done, I have created a name. This is my HR. This is my QA. So I have given 4 names to 4 different tables. Right. Now in the last topic, last example, we have seen that how to name it. Now this is clear. This formula where I have given HR. This formula is clear.
Yes.
This table. This is the HR table. So whenever I'm going to select, it will say this is HR. Now I don't want to select this one. I wanted to refer this. So in case of HR, already HR is there. So what I'll do, I'll just pick this one where HR is already written. Now this HR is a range or text. बताइए, this HR is a range or text?
It's a text.
Text. But in this parameter, I wanted to take this as a range, which is I have already created. Now what I have to do, I have to convert this text to actual range. So I have used indirect function. I'll refer to here this one. Control C. Simple. So I have converted the text to a range using indirect function. So this is the use of indirect. So indirect function converts any text to a range. Simple. Any text to a range. So this was my text. I have converted this text to a range using indirect function. Now this is all about name manager. Right. Here name manager. I'll show you one more example. एक और example दिखाता हूँ. Let's say this is for HR department, month by month score, QA month by month score, finance month by month score, and training month by month score. Now in the 5th one, HR, QA, finance, training. So I wanted to fetch the value from 4 sheets. बताइए HR के लिए कौन सा sheet से data लाएंगे? So let us create a VLOOKUP equals to VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this one, which is A is fixed, comma, table array is this one. So this is fixed, right? Comma 2, comma false. Now this is the data for HR. For QA, I have to go with this QA sheet. Now, see, अब आप बताओ HR और QA में what is the difference? Let us suppose I am going to do the same formula. So what I have to do, I have to just change the sheet name. That's it. यही तो करना होगा ना. Everything will work. Only this is to be done. Only sheet name is being changed. Baki everything is else is same, right? The concept is clear that I have to change the sheet name. Now let us see how to do it automatically. So this I wanted to pick from which one? I'll delete this one. I wanted to pick from this. B1. Kya fix hoga? B or 1? What is to be fixed?
Sir, one.
1. Right. Now with B1, I wanted to join this range. I wanted to concatenate. So what I'll be using between B1 and this range? Kya use karunga join karne ke liye? And now I'll fix this one. इसको मैं double quotes में रख दूंगा. I'll keep this into double quotes because this entire thing is fixed. Only this B1 is being changed. Now this the entire thing. This one. This is a text or range. बताइए. अभी जो ये final output. This the final output is text or range. No text. B1 is text and this is also text. So as of now, the final output is text right now. Right now, the final output is text because we have joined this one. I wanted to
indirect function. Yes.
Yes, I'll be using indirect here. I will be converting the entire text to range to reference. Now see the magic. Control C, Control V, done. So you have to understand the logic that what is the logic behind indirect function. Indirect function is used to convert any text to a reference. So there are n number of examples so you can use this combination of VLOOKUP and indirect. Right. So this is what we have seen today, that we have learned how to use name manager, how to create name manager, how to edit name, how to delete name, and how to use name using VLOOKUP and other rest of the functions. We have used names with indirect, we have used name with VLOOKUP. So in the next class, we are going to start conditional formatting. Conditional formatting we are going to start.